What's going on, everyone? JPS back for the video, and today I'm going to be reacting to things you don't need in Germany. And this is from Antoinette Emily, the New Zealander living in Germany. I've reacted to one of her videos in the past, which was things that will surprise you about parenting in Germany, and she had some really interesting insights that made me honestly question parenting practices in the United States, or at least the general practices. So this will be interesting. Things you don't need in Germany. Trying to think, like, what are some things? A car, well, if you're in Berlin. But honestly, even the rest of Germany has great public transport too. Anyways, let's get into it. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, let's get it.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Antoinette, a New Zealander living in Germany, and in this video today I'm going to be talking about things that you absolutely do not need if you come to Germany. And I'm going to be talking about things that are kind of like essentials in New Zealand. These are things that I use regularly in New Zealand that I just don't have a use for now that I live in Germany. Okay guys, so one of the things that you absolutely will not need if you come to Germany is thermal underwear. Okay, let me explain this one. In New Zealand, we love our thermal underwear. We love our merino singlets and long johns. The reason we need to wear thermal underwear in New Zealand is because our New Zealand homes are so cold during the winter time. Our homes are not as well insulated as the German homes. We have single glazing on our windows. We don't have like a built-in heating system. Some of the homes in New Zealand have heat pumps, which just heat up one room, and we have fires. We heat our homes with fires, but also they only heat up one room, and sometimes we have like little separate heaters, but they just don't do the trick. And because our homes aren't very well insulated, the heat just goes out straight away, and it's really hard to like keep your home warm in New Zealand. I remember when I was getting ready to come to Germany, and Rob, who was my boyfriend at the time, my husband now, he was talking to his parents on the phone in Germany, and they were saying that it is really, really cold in Germany. It's like one of the coldest winters that they've had in so long. And my mum and I, we actually went out shopping. I vividly remember this, and we were on the hunt for like really good quality merino thermal underwear that I could wear in Germany. And everyone was telling me this, that I need to like take my merinos. And I remember my grandmother actually saying to me, oh, make sure you have enough merinos, you know, it's going to be really cold in Germany. And Rob was like, what are you guys talking about? You do not need your thermal underwear in Germany. And I was so confused. I just couldn't work out why I wouldn't need my thermal underwear in Germany. So anyway, fast forwarding to when I arrived in Germany, I soon realized that I wasn't going to be using my thermal underwear, because the homes in Germany and the shops and anywhere inside is just so incredibly toasty warm. There is a huge contrast in temperature in Germany between outside and inside. So basically, if you go to Germany during the winter time, you just have to invest in a really good quality thick warm jacket. Forget about the merino, save your money. Do not get your thermal merino underwear and put that money towards a really thick good jacket. The key to dressing for winter in Germany is to layer. So when you're outside, you're nice and snuggly and warm in your jacket, and then when you go inside, you can take off your jacket and you're in just like thin layers, because it is so warm. You would like die if you wore merinos inside during the winter time in Germany, because it's just simply too hot. Okay, and this is on the same.
I wanted to add something. That, honestly, there's a lot of buildings where I go to school where it is so hot. Like, it's super cold outside. I appreciate them having heating, but to the point where, like, even if I'm wearing a t-shirt, I'm sweating sometimes in the buildings. Like, I think there is a line where it gets too hot, and people will disagree because they'll be like, oh, it's freezing outside, it needs to be warm in here, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it could be warm, but that toasty can turn into more like a, I'm dying in here. It makes me want to go back outside into the cold.
Kind of subject, but something you absolutely do not need in Germany are hot water bottles and electric blankets. Because our homes are so cold in New Zealand during the winter time, the way that we get warm is to sleep with a hot water bottle. Actually, I think you can get them in Germany, but I don't see them very often. Now, basically, if you don't know what a hot water bottle is, it is a bottle that you fill with like really warm water, which will keep you warm and you can snuggle it in your bed. And I grew up with hot water bottles. We also have electric blankets, which are blankets that you plug in and they heat up, like the whole blanket will heat up. You don't have the electric blanket on all night, you just basically put it on like maybe an hour or two before going to bed and then turn it off before you go to bed, and your blanket's all nice and warm, and then when you wake up in the morning you're absolutely freezing again. But anyway, so you will not need an electric blanket or hot water bottles in Germany. I can guarantee you that. You can actually just sleep with like a really thin blanket and you are absolutely fine. Another thing that you won't need, you won't use if you go to Germany, and this is for the ladies, it is high heels. Now, I was the high heel queen in New Zealand. If you knew me in New Zealand, you will know how many pairs of heels I owned. Every time I went out to parties, clubbing, on the weekends, I would wear high heels. I had so many different pairs. If I would buy like a pair of boots, they would have to have kind of like a wedge or some kind of a heel on them because I'm super short. I always felt like I needed to be taller for some reason, and I just love my high heels. And in New Zealand, everyone wears high heels at the clubs. And I came to Germany and I realized that no one wore high heels here. I barely saw anybody wearing high heels. If you go to like a fancy nightclub in Germany, you will hardly see anybody wearing high heels.
I actually hadn't even thought about that, now that I think about it. But it makes sense too, because you need to be standing for a long time in the nightclubs, especially if we're talking about nightlife in Germany. Wearing high heels would be excruciating. It's like, especially if you go into some of those nightclubs where when you walk out the sun is rising. It's a lot of hours on them heels. That would hurt.
Heels. If you wear high heels, you'll be like the odd one out. And one of the only times I've seen German women wearing high heels has been at weddings. German women wear high heels at weddings. So maybe they'll own like 1 or 2 pairs just in case, like for a wedding or for like a really special event. But most of the time they don't wear high heels. One of the reasons why German women don't wear high heels is because so many parts of Germany are surrounded by these like beautiful cobblestone streets. And has anybody ever tried walking in heels on cobblestone streets? It is virtually impossible. I actually broke a pair of high heels walking on cobblestone streets. The entire heel just like came off and it got stuck in the cobblestone, and I was like walking around with no heel on my shoe. So I do not recommend you wearing heels in Germany for that reason alone. And I actually think, I don't know, if you're German and you're watching this, do you think that is the reason why Germans don't wear heels so much? Is it because of the cobblestone streets, or is it because you just don't really like heels very much? I'm really interested to know that. I just feel like the German style in general is a lot more casual, and especially when you're going out like clubbing, Germans want to be comfortable, and I don't know, they just feel more comfortable in flat shoes. Okay, so another thing that you absolutely will not need in Germany, and this is for the ladies again, and for the guys if you're into that kind of thing, you will not need to waste your money on buying really expensive makeup products, because in Germany, the less is more look is considered much more attractive than like the caked on makeup look. I'm not saying that German women don't wear makeup. Yes, they do. A lot of German women wear makeup, but they just don't go as crazy with their makeup. They're just a lot more minimal with their makeup. In Germany, it's just considered way more attractive to look natural and to just kind of enhance your natural beauty. So I feel like a lot of German women, they'll just wear a little bit of mascara, maybe a tiny little bit of eyeliner, a bit of lip gloss, and they're good to go. And I'm probably wearing way more makeup right now than the average German would wear. I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear makeup in Germany, I'm just saying that you don't need to like go all out with your makeup in Germany, because it's just not really a thing here. I feel like so many women...
I don't think anyone should ever have to go all out with the makeup. Like, it's... I don't really get it. But I'm not a girl at the same time, so...
with your makeup in Germany, because it's just not really a thing here. I feel like so many women from other countries who visit Germany, they gradually start to wear less and less makeup, and it's usually just a very gradual process. But it happens. Makeup products are expensive, so by wearing less makeup, by buying less like makeup products, you are obviously saving money, saving time, and you usually look a lot better with less makeup, so it's a win-win situation. Okay guys, last but not least, another thing that you do not need in Germany, and this is not actually a thing, this is more like a thing you do, and I'm not recommending this at all, but technically you do not need to speak German to get get by in Germany. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. Most Germans speak a pretty decent level of English, or they can kind of like string a sentence together and make themselves understood or understand you. If you're
But before she keeps going, I'm going to agree and disagree. First of all, it depends on where you are in Germany. The English part is true, but that's especially in Berlin. In Berlin, there's a lot of English speakers, I feel like. But once you get out of there, there are certain situations where if you don't know any German, it could be bad. But like nowadays, you're never really in that situation because everyone has a phone which has translating apps, and it's super easy. So in that sense, I think that's good. That's an example of good technology. Social media would be an example maybe of where it's going bad, especially in my generation. But I still think like there are certain instances where you may need to learn to know some German. Because there were definitely times for me when I was visiting Germany where I was like, damn, I wish I knew some German. But thankfully I had Ryan with me, he speaks German pretty well.
in Germany and you go into a shop or a cafe and you can't speak a word of German and you open your mouth and speak English, most likely the person who is serving you will be able to understand you. Maybe they won't be able to like speak English fluently, but they will be able to sort of make out what's going on, and you're not going to be like totally lost. And if they can't understand you, there's probably going to be a person, you know, like a few meters away that will be able to speak English. And so you can always find your way around speaking English. I definitely think it's worthwhile learning, you know, some basic German phrases and just a little bit of basic German before you come to Germany. But it's not like completely necessary because you are going to be able to, you know, find your way around. And a lot of people speak English. It's incredible, actually. I was so surprised about how many people could speak English in Germany when I first came. For me personally, I did not want to be one of those native English speakers who did not go to any effort to learn German. And I think it's okay if you're just visiting for a short time, but if you're living in Germany, that's a completely different story. For me, it was so important to be able to speak German because, you know, German is the native language of Germany, not English. So guys, that's about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And
that was a cool video. Things you don't need in Germany. There was a lot of focus on wintertime and the heat. I remember someone saying, or a video I watched in the past, things you do need in Germany would be a lot of different types of footwear for the varying weather, especially in the winter. So I actually want you guys to comment down below, what is the weather looking like in Germany? For all the people living in Germany right now, you can say it in Celsius. I've kind of got the conversions down a bit better now than I have in the past. I'm curious to hear how cold it's getting. It's getting pretty cold here. At night, around 30-35 degrees Fahrenheit. So that works out to damn near 0 degrees Celsius, which is crazy. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one.